Hi, this is submission 5. So in my previous business model, I thought that my customers were undergraduate college students who were experiencing issues with time management, who we could find via Inside JCU, and I wanted to serve them by creating an app that generated revenue through self-service and monthly subscriptions. The primary expense of this app would likely be the development and launching of the actual app. Um, so by doing the financial projection simulator, we learned that we wanted to make an app that it was very cheap. And after watching the video in class about the doctor visits, we realized that if we have the price too low, people might associate it with bad quality and might not think it's professional. And I did a little research on common apps that people use, like Calm, Headspace, and Sativa, and they're all about $13 a month for the basic subscription plan. So we're changing that in our hypothesis and making the subscription cost more in order to make the business more viable and sustainable. And we think it's an effective tactic because if we charge more, we could make more. It's just common sense. And then we also think that we might be able to reach out to more people to be more successful. And that goes along with changing our channels. We also think that by doing that, we can reach a wider range of students, which kind of relates to the customer segments. And that goes into major changes to the business model canvas. So initially, I thought that we should do maybe just upperclassmen, but now that I think of it, I feel like all undergraduate kids could benefit because the two younger, the freshmen and the sophomores, we're new to college and we struggle with time management. So we need to form habits to help us, and we could do that easier than breaking old habits that the juniors and seniors would have to do. But on the other hand, the juniors and seniors, they've been here so long, and if they still struggle with time management, then they might be willing to try something new just to, improve their time management skills. So I think that instead of just focusing on 2 years of undergrad, we could focus on everyone and improve that for sure. And then the channels we use can also be improved because instead of just doing Inside JCU and social media, we sat down and we thought about where people go who struggle with time management. And we decided that people go to the Cubby to study. They come to the library late at night. They go to the Den, by Einstein's in the Bower School. That's where people go to study. And if you walk there, you often see people late at night just studying, headphones in, and grinding. So we feel like those are all good places to go and make posters. So the next experiment that we plan to do is we made a small little advertisement for Inside JCU. I'm actually gonna submit a screenshot of that too. And then in that little ad for Inside JCU, we have a link to a website, and we have the link set up so every time someone clicks on it, we'll get notified. And it's going to count the amount of clicks we get. And that way we'll see if this solution is worth pursuing because we don't know if people would use an app like this. We decided not to think about the logistics and just go for whether or not it's worth our time to even pursue this. So our assumption will be right if we could achieve at least 10% of the John Carroll kids clicking on that link. And if we don't get at least 5%, I think we should pivot. So we'll proceed to test the revenue streams if we're successful with the 10%. And if we're not here or there, we'll probably do the same thing, but we'll list all the functions of the app so people know exactly what it is. And then if we pivot, I think we might try a different channel before we switch to another solution. I'm assuming that people will want to use this app because, I mean, it's not currently made, but the stuff that we say it could do is pretty amazing. I think if we can pull it off, it's going to be amazing and it will help people feel less stressed out and deal with the emotional stresses of time management. So, since last time, I learned a lot about entrepreneurship. The first thing and the most obvious is I was alone, and working alone is something I like. I like being independent, but being in a group helps you kind of bounce ideas off of each other and come up with more creative ways. And by joining a group of two other people, we have the added strengths of those two people and myself. So we're definitely stronger as a team and we're holding each other accountable. We all have things we're good at, like I said. So that's definitely helpful. And then I also think that I need to stop worrying about the logistics of the actual app. Instead, just focus on if the solution is even worth pursuing and if people are willing to go for it. That's the bottom line. And then after that, like you said in class, if people have a need for it, then we'll find a way to make it, but only after. And then I also think that instead of being so critical of every little thing, I need to just focus on being done. That kind of goes along with what we did on launch day and how done is better than perfect, because having something means you could build off that and you already have something to build off of instead of just having an idea that you decide not to pursue because you don't think it's logistically possible.